I'm Rebecca Hawthorne, President of the League of Women Voters, Wayzata Plymouth area. I'd like to welcome our candidates, our audience, and our viewers. On behalf of the League of Women Voters of the Wayzata Plymouth area and our co-host, the League of Women Voters South Tonka. The League of Women Voters is a 104-year-old volunteer, nonpartisan organization that encourages the informed and active participation of citizens in government, works to increase understanding of major public policy issues, and influences public policy through education and advocacy. There's no recording allowed. No photographs or recording allowed during the forum. Thank you very much. The League does not oppose or support any political party or advocate or candidate. The views expressed in this forum are those of the candidates, not those of the League of Women Voters. It is our purpose in sponsoring forums such as this to provide you with the opportunity to hear candidates discuss face-to-face the issues that are important to you. Please silence your electronic devices at this time if you've not already. And now I'd like to introduce you to your moderator for this evening's forum, Deb Brinkman, a member of the League of Women Voters, St. Louis Park.
Good evening. Tonight's forum is provided to give you the opportunity to learn about the candidates running for Hennepin County Commissioner District 7. There's never enough time to cover all the issues in a setting such as this. If your questions were not addressed, please feel free to contact the candidate directly. The League of Women Voters posts complete, unedited recordings of its forums. Editing is authorized only for official media reporting. Only the full, unedited recording may be used by other persons and organizations. The rules for this evening's forum are as follows. Candidates will be allowed an opening statement with a maximum of 1 minute to state their experiences, platform, and objectives. A question and answer period will follow the opening statements. The answers will be confined to 1 minute unless designated by the moderator. Questions will be answered in a rotating order. A 15-second warning will be given to the candidates. The candidates will also be given a 2-minute closing remark. Candidates, please finish your sentences quickly when you see the stop sign or you'll be interrupted. No reference of a personal nature will be tolerated. Please don't interrupt the other person that is speaking. A person's public record may be examined, but not their character. This forum is made available to encourage the voting public to focus on the issues and not on personalities. We ask that there be no demonstrations in support of or in opposition to the candidates or their positions, and that the candidates be allowed their full time to get their points across. The public has been encouraged to submit questions online in advance of this forum. For those in the audience, if you have a question, please write it on a 3x5 card, and one of our volunteers will pick it up when you raise your hand. Audience questions will be taken for the first 30 minutes of the forum. The timekeeper will alert the moderator when 30 seconds has elapsed. Questions that are unclear, hostile, or of a personal nature will not be used. Those that fall in the same general area and topic may be consolidated. The candidate running for Hennepin County Commissioner District 7 are Kevin Anderson and Brad Kohler. We'll begin by asking the candidates to give their introductory remarks, starting with Kevin Anderson.
Thank you so much. And thank you to the League for hosting this forum. It's incredibly valuable to allow us to examine our positions and to have this interaction. I can't thank you enough for the work that you do. I'm Kevin Anderson. I'm the Hennepin County Commissioner serving District 7 currently. I was elected in 2020. What a weird time to get elected, I just got to say. We've done some amazing work in the last 4 years. We've invested in our infrastructure. We've expanded access to broadband. We've helped out and are nearly complete in ending veterans homelessness in Hennepin County. We are investing in affordable housing. We've done so much, but there's still so much left to do. And I want to continue to do this work on your behalf, knowing that District 7 faces some unique challenges that we need to address at the county level. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Brad Kohler, please.
Hi, ladies. Thank you for putting this on tonight. I appreciate the effort you've put in to keep us up to date on the event, starting times and everything. And yes, my name is Brad Kohler. I'm running for a county commissioner here in District 7. I'm running because, frankly, well, they're doing a bad job. And, when the raises of taxes are happening continuously and we have crime on the rise, it's hard to say to your elected officials, good job. So for me, it's really about making those changes that need to be changed. I'm a businessman here in the district. I own and operate my own manufacturing company. I run 4 Freddy's restaurants, and I see the problems every day at the restaurants with people coming in that are, sorry, go ahead.
Thank you, Brad. Now we will proceed with questions that we received from the audience, and we'll proceed in a rotating order. Again, you'll have 1 minute to respond to the questions. Brad, we'll start with you with the first question, and the topic is on the role of the county commissioner. The Hennepin County mission is to serve residents through transformative services that reduce disparities, eliminate inequities, and create opportunity for all. How would you prioritize the duties and responsibilities of being a Hennepin County Commissioner to achieve this mission?
Well, I would do what's not being done. That's what I would do. I think what we need to do is have more financial responsibility and more transparency. Giving raises when people are getting their taxes raised is not being responsible. Dissecting our budget and, cutting costs at the government level rather than failing at every meeting and raising taxes and going the easy route. That's number one.
Thank you, Brad. Kevin Anderson, please.
Thank you. Could you repeat the question, please?
Yes. The Hennepin County mission is to serve residents through transformative services that reduce disparities, eliminate inequities, and create opportunity for all. How would you prioritize the duties and responsibilities of being a Hennepin County Commissioner to achieve this mission?
Thank you so much for the question. So I think some of the things that we are doing currently focus on disparity reduction. We know that outcomes are disparately impacting people of color in every community, including in District 7. And so we need to make sure that the positions and the policies that we're enacting at the county level are targeted and effective at making sure that we're able to reduce those disparities that are occurring. I know that there are homeowners in small communities like Maple Plain and Loretto that are struggling with making ends meet. And our ability to connect services in a smart way by implementing kiosk and online portal capabilities to connect to services makes delivery of these services more efficient and cheaper for the taxpayer. And that's what I'll continue doing.
Thank you, Kevin. All right, Kevin, we'll start with you with this next question. District 7 includes both metro and rural areas, each with a unique mix of a broad range of services. How do you weigh the needs of each community?
Thank you. So I grew up in a small town in central Minnesota, and coming to the smaller communities in District 7 in a way is like coming home. And so I live in Maple Grove, and I do a lot of work in that community, but I visit every community frequently and make sure that I am connected with each community and listening to their priorities. I think a big part of the job is to understand and connect with each individual community, listen to what their priorities are, and then work to advocate for those priorities at the county level. I've been doing that through our Northwest Hennepin League of Municipalities, listening to the mayors in each of those communities, advocating for road projects, delivering on broadband expansion, including connecting over 3,000 homes in the last 4 years, to communities that have not had internet in the past. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Brad Kohler, please.
Would you mind repeating that, please? I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yes, District 7 includes both metro and rural areas, each with a unique mix of a broad range of services. How do you weigh the needs of each community?
Yeah, that is a tough one. It is networking with your community, getting to know them, including the minorities. I'm connected very heavily with the minority leaders. I brought some of them with me tonight, and we work together at trying to work on our future. We think about our children quite a bit and their future, so we're looking at more kids programs and teenage programs for them to do things under mentorship for a brighter future that we hope to give them one day.
Thank you, Brad. And we'll start with you with this next question. The topic will be on the budget. In their budget decisions, commissioners decide funding for programs and projects in transportation, human services, public safety, public health, energy, and environment. What budget management experience do you bring to the job?
Well, my experience in business starts from many years ago. I've been a businessman. I actually invented my own products. I grew them out of my garage while raising my children myself. I turned it into an international success. Like I said, I run 4 Freddy's restaurants here in the suburbs that we live in, and I deal with hiring, forecasting, budgeting, purchasing, those things every day with multi-million-dollar restaurants. As far as expansion and stuff like that goes, we have to look at it as a business point of view and be able to see the clearing through the forest. And unfortunately, a lot of politicians can't see that or have that vision. We have to use our imaginations a little bit more. And as a business person, I plan on doing that.
Thank you, Brad. Kevin Anderson, please.
Thank you so much. So in my past life, I worked as an IT professional, managing large projects, oftentimes trying to make sure that we fit the project in under budget, completing complex tasks. I brought that same kind of analytical approach to problem solving to the county. We've, over the last 4 years that I've been in the role, we've made sure that our budgeting process has been clear and transparent. Always room for improvement, of course, but we're constantly trying to find ways of meeting the needs that are ever growing in our communities, while making sure that we're making smart investments to each of those priority areas. In the first year, we had a 0% levy increase. We've made sure that we continue being fiscally responsible with our dollars. This year, we're at a 5.5% increase, which is lower than most municipalities in the county.
Thank you, Kevin. Kevin, we'll start with you with this next question. Again, a little bit more on the budget. As a commissioner of the Hennepin County Board, you have budget oversight over county offices, but little say in how they operate. How will you work with the county offices to make the best decisions for the needs of your citizens?
Thank you. I assume this is directed at the Sheriff's Department and the County Attorney's Office. Roles that we have budget oversight, but we don't have management oversight because those roles are elected in their own right. We certainly need to be working alongside them and identifying what the priorities are for our communities and then advocating for them. We also need to make sure that we're willing to hold them accountable in the budgetary constraints that we have. For example, when the county attorney came before us and asked for a large stipend to hire outside counsel, I voted against that because I didn't think it was financially prudent to do so. We are also trying to make sure that we're meeting the needs that are required of us statutorily through the Sheriff's Department to make sure that they have the resources they need to keep our communities safe and to respond to all of the rising demands on their departments.
Thank you, Kevin. Brad Kohler, please.
And would you repeat that one more time, please, also?
Yes. As a commissioner on the Hennepin County Board, you have budget oversight over county offices, but little say in how they operate. How will you work with county offices to make the best decisions for the needs of your citizens?
Well, I think it's very easy to spend other people's money, but when it's your own, you learn how to spend it wisely. So what I would do is metaphorically pretend it's my money and keep as much as I can and not spend it. So I'm pretty tight about that, and I think that a lot of people that are in charge of budgets need a little education on the ultimate responsibility, and the ultimate responsibility is to you people, us, and our money is just not for just spending at their will. Taxes is another word for taking what's ours.
Thank you, Brad. And we'll start with you with this next question. The topic is on the Hennepin Energy Recovery Center, or HERC. The Hennepin County Board has committed to closing the Hennepin Energy Recovery Center, or HERC, by 2040. What role do you believe the county should play in finding solutions to manage waste now flowing to energy plants like HERC and to landfills? And what role, if any, is there for the community?
Well, I got to tell you, Deb, that's not something I'm 100% familiar with. And, I sure would like to look into that, dissect it, talk to some really good people in the community, and come up with a solution together. I don't think that should be any one person's, decision. We do have a little bit of time on that. Apparently 2040 is the shutdown date. So I think that maybe we could probably come up with a solution. But I don't have anything for you right now.
Thank you, Brad. Kevin Anderson, please.
Thank you so much. I think dealing with our garbage is one of the most underappreciated things that the county does. Right now, we are actually in a open common period for the solid waste management plan, something that we do on a regular basis. This is how we are going to deal with garbage for the next five years. In conjunction with that, we also have our zero waste plan that outlines several of the priorities that we need to undertake in order to reduce the amount of garbage that we're creating as a society and that we have to deal with. We can't do it alone. We need to make sure that we're doing it in partnership with our cities and the state level to make sure that we have the resources to reduce the amount of garbage that's flowing to us, knowing, of course, that landfills are a worse option than incineration. So we need to make sure that we're dealing with the waste hierarchy in a respectful way that meets the needs of our community.
Thank you, Kevin. Kevin, we'll start with you with this next question. The topic is on safe communities. What changes, if any, would you advocate regarding the scope of services provided by the Hennepin County Sheriff's Department?
So the Sheriff's Department is entitled to run the department as they see fit. So I am not going to dictate to the Sheriff's Department how they operate and manage. We have a responsibility as the county board to make sure that they have the resources they need to provide public safety to every community. And I think that our current sheriff is doing a phenomenal job in making sure that they have the tools in place to keep our communities safe, that they're working alongside our city leaders and our police chiefs across Hennepin County to provide additional services, including crime lab and investigation services. I know we're also doing some amazing work in our jails to make sure that people who are incarcerated are getting additional services and are able to leave the system in a better place.
Thank you, Kevin. Brad Kohler, please.
Yeah, I believe our sheriff is a great leader. I think she's doing a great job. I do believe we need to make this a non-sanctuary county to help that out. I think they could probably use more training, more police officers, more. I don't think they have what they need. I think they could always use more. Policing is a very tough job. I think she's doing a great job, and she's a good leader. I think that things are good in that department.
Thank you, Brad. And Brad, we'll start with you with this next question. The topic is on housing. As a Hennepin County Commissioner, what initiatives would you support regarding housing in District 7?
Well, most of us move to the suburbs for peace of mind and safety. I think low-income housing is something that we need to kind of relook at and see if maybe we can't diversify that somehow, because it's raising our property taxes, and we're lowering the number of houses being built by building more apartments and townhomes that are low-income housing. So I think that's something that I'd like to redirect and try to open up the housing market again to people that to own houses rather than a duplex or an apartment, and make the suburbs what they're meant for. I said that safety and peace of mind.
Thank you, Brad. Kevin Anderson, please.
Could you repeat the question, please?
Yes. As a Hennepin County Commissioner, what initiatives would you support regarding housing in District 7?
Thank you so much. We are doing a lot of work in the housing realm. We invest in affordable housing. Now, as Hennepin County, we're responsible for the social safety net. So our resources are primarily directed at the most affordable level of housing. That means helping builders build units that are at the 30% AMI or lower. We also do a lot of work in trying to make sure that we have naturally occurring affordable housing, or NOAA. We do a lot of work in partnering with developers and cities to meet the needs that each community is facing. We can't do this work alone. I've said this before, and that's incredibly true in housing as well. We need to make sure that we're partnering with our city partners to make sure that we're identifying areas that we can increase the stock of housing, which by its very nature, as we increase housing, prices are going to go down. So we need to make sure that we're looking at all levels of the housing continuum.
Thank you, Kevin. We'll start with you with this next question. The topic will be on traffic. District 7 has growing communities. How will you support additional infrastructure needs regarding road and transportation?
Thank you so much. That's been one of my biggest priorities in the last 4 years. When I ran 4 years ago, I looked at the amount of investment flowing into District 7, and it was minuscule as it related to the other districts. In the last 4 years, we've increased the amount of funding for projects like Chenkata Trail or County Road 47, which was transferred over to the city of Plymouth. We've invested in the completion of the Highway 610 project in Maple Grove. We're doing a lot of work to make sure that we have safety improvements along our county roadways, and we're constantly looking for ways to improve the drivability and safety across every county road in District 7. Making sure that our roadways are safe for not just the drivers that are using it, but pedestrians and people who are trying to access it through whether they're biking, walking, or using it for recreation purposes. We want to make sure that we're investing in all of those.
Thank you, Kevin. Brad Kohler, please.
Yeah, construction, that's one of our seasons in Minnesota, isn't it? Construction, okay. Building roads and fixing roads is always going to be a problem here with our winters. And so that's a priority also when we need to have, safe roads to drive on. So I think that's that one of the things that I really want to focus on is, making sure we experience, some of the roads that we have to drive on, hear from the community what needs to be fixed, and stay on top of that directly. It's very important. It's we have kids growing up, becoming drivers, and we want to make sure the roads are safe for them.
Thank you, Brad. And we'll start with you with this next question. The topic is mental health and social services. What would you see as the biggest challenges to mental health and social services in your county, and how would you address them?
I would say keeping the hospitals open. Some of the ones that have been closed need to probably be reopened. And, making sure that people are aware that mental health is a real thing, that they need to address it, and it's okay. I think, the doctors and nurses that provide that should be well taken care of, and we need to make sure that we take it very serious. So.
Thank you, Brad. Kevin Anderson, please.
Thank you. When I ran 4 years ago, one of the main reasons that I decided to commit myself to running a race like this was to expand access to mental health services for students. I had a daughter who was entering middle school, and this was in 2019 before the pandemic, and I knew that there was challenges already. It's only gotten worse and harder for people to navigate those services and for providers to get reimbursed at the rates that they need in order to do that. I've hosted several roundtables for school-based mental health, including providers, school officials, and parents with lived experience, as well as first responders. And I've heard time and time again that the problems that we are facing are making sure that we can be reimbursed, that there's not enough beds available to meet people with severe needs, and we need to make sure that we're investing in all of those options so that people have the services they need.
Thank you, Kevin. We'll start with you with this next question. The topic is on Hennepin Healthcare. What is your take on the challenges facing Hennepin Health and your thoughts and on strategies to address these issues?
Healthcare is probably one of the biggest and most intractable problems that we are facing as a country. It has been at the forefront of so many conversations, and we need to make sure that we're partnering with our HHS board to make sure that they have the tools and resources they need to provide the care to the community that they're serving. This year, we're looking at dedicating 1% of our tax levy to supporting uncompensated care at the hospital. It's a small part of the problem because so much care that's being delivered right now is uncompensated, people that don't have insurance. And so we need to make sure that we are finding ways of partnering with our legislative partners to increase reimbursement rates. This isn't just at the state level, it's at the federal level as well. And we need to make sure that we're working in partnership with community to make sure that they are navigating the system as best they can.
Thank you, Kevin. Brad Kohler, please.
When it comes to the health care, I think we just got to do a better job managing it. When we have a person at the top making $1 million a year salary, I don't think that the health care of our patients are in mind. I think that the money is going to the wrong places, and we need to be more responsible about what we actually pay for medication. I was recently reading about a case of, $1,000 for a bed sheet for it to be changed. I mean, things like this that they charge the taxpayers for needs to be more transparent, and they need to be held accountable. We need to dissect that, get into it, find out why it's being mismanaged like that, and why they want to keep taking our money and using it wrongfully.
Thank you, Brad. Brad, we'll start with you with this next question. The topic is library services. What changes, if any, would you propose regarding library services across the county's communities?
I have my library card. I use it quite a bit. I love it. I think the libraries are awesome. And I remember when Carnegie opened up a bunch of libraries and no one went to visit them. I think we should really visit the idea of promoting libraries again for education, because we can stop a lot of things like poverty and welfare by educating our young people, and I think that'd be a great place to start with. You got a lot of free books there to read, and we can motivate them to get in there and read. That stimulates the mind and it builds a lot of character. So I believe firmly in the library system.
Thank you, Brad. Kevin Anderson, please.
I really appreciate this question. Our libraries are a treasure in Hennepin County. We have over 40 libraries in communities across every demographic, and they serve a variety of people in so many different and important ways. I also have my library card. My kids have their library cards. It's a tool that unlocks the future for them. I think we can do more about expanding hours to make sure that our libraries are more accessible to people, because more and more often we're seeing that our libraries are being used as community meeting spaces. We're investing heavily right now in remodeling and making sure that we're keeping our infrastructure up to date. And I think we can do more of that so that our libraries are better meeting the needs. I think we can also use our facilities to partner with our human services to make them accessible for meeting community needs in different ways.
Thank you, Kevin. All right, we have time for one more question, and then we'll go to the closing remarks. So Kevin, we'll start with you with this question. It's on election law. How would you ensure election laws do not create barriers to Minnesotans' freedom to vote while ensuring safe and secure elections?
Thank you. We have one of the best run election systems in the country. And our system right now is designed around making sure that we have validation for every person who registers, and then every voter roll has access to making sure that they can cast a ballot and make sure that it's checked against the databases in the back end. This is a really important part because we know voting is our voice, and we want to make sure that it is available to every eligible voter to cast their ballot and have their voice heard. And we're making sure that we're making it easier for our elections to be that you can cast a ballot, whether it's in person downtown. There's voting places in our city halls, many of them right now. And we want to make sure that we're supporting each community that's doing this work on your behalf.
Thank you, Kevin. Brad Kohler, please.
You know, I pray every day that our candidates and our parties, try to do the right things and try to do nothing shady. I pray that our, people, the community, use their voice and actively go out and vote and be a part of this whole thing. And, God willing, we all come out with the right candidates that we choose, and things happen the way we want to have happen. I just have a firm belief in our system and our country. And I think that, I always say, it all come out in the wash. And I think that one way or another, I think we're going to get it all straightened out. And I think that our voting is going to be it's a pretty good system right now. So,
thank you very much, Brad. All right, now we'll proceed with our closing remarks. Again, you'll get 2 minutes for your closing remark. We're not taking additional questions at this point in time.
it's past my bedtime.
And we're going to reverse the order of which we did the opening remarks. So, Brad, we'll start with you with your closing remark. Again, 2 minutes.
I came in tonight and thought I knew what I was going to say until I got a phone call on the way here. And I just have to talk about it. It's a friend of mine who lives not far from me, mother with 3 kids, 1 at St. John's, 2 in high school at Champlain. And she has had to pay taxes to the state of Minnesota for the 2nd year in a row. She rents. She makes less than just under $50,000 a year, has 3 kids she's paying for. And I just don't think that's the way it's supposed to be. I think of these single parents out there that need help. I think we need to get what we deserve. I think we should have what we have worked for. I think you should have what is yours, what is rightfully yours. I want to change that. I want to help them. And that's why I'm doing this. The other thing was boring. This was much better. I really think that I hear these stories all the time, and It's not about me. It's about us. It's about the community. Heck with the parties. It's about us. And that's what we have to focus on, is how do we fix us? Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. Kevin Anderson, please.
Thank you so much. Again, thank you to the League for hosting these forums. It is incredibly enlightening to be able to hear both ideas side by side, and I just really appreciate that. I think one of the things about the county work that I don't think I even fully appreciated when I was elected 4 years ago was how important it is in supporting people who are struggling. We're responsible for the social safety net, supporting people who are falling on hard times and lifting them out and making sure that they are in a place where they can become sufficient and self-sufficient members of our communities. That's our number one job. And we have dedicated time and resources across many different fields of expertise in the county to make sure that we can do that. Whether it's through supporting our workers who are helping people on the front lines who are struggling with mental illness or addiction or homelessness, whether it's investing in affordable housing, whether it's investing in transit and transportation so people can get to their jobs. We're doing a lot of these different pieces that are so impactful to everybody's quality of life in Hennepin. I'm really proud of the work that I've been doing. I'm proud of the support that different organizations have put on my campaign, including workers at Hennepin County, our paramedics, our sheriff's deputies association, making sure that workers and builders who are building our infrastructure, it's incredibly gratifying to have their support, as well as labor unions who are on the front line every day doing the work on behalf of people in Hennepin County. So I encourage you to help continue to vote and be a part of the process. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. This concludes the Hennepin County Commissioner District 7 Candidate Forum. We close with several thank yous. First, on behalf of the League of Women Voters, please join me in thanking the candidates for being part of the democratic process and by running for office and being willing to serve our community. Thank you also to the League of Women Voters volunteers, our audience here, and those viewing this event virtually for your participation in this candidate forum. Finally, thank you to the Plymouth City staff for supporting this event and to CCX Media for broadcasting live streaming, and recording tonight's forum. On-demand viewing can be accessed at lwvwpa.org. For additional election information, we encourage you to visit vote411.org, the League of Women Voters award-winning one-stop shop where voters can register to vote, find their polling place, and learn how candidates stand on issues. Please remember to vote on November 5th at the election, either by absentee ballot or in person. On the November ballot, Minnesota voters will be asked to reauthorize or end a constitutional amendment allocating 40% of the state lottery proceeds to the Environment and Natural Resources Trust Fund. Over 50% of the voters must say yes to approve the constitutional protection of the system. Leaving the question blank counts as a no vote. Please be sure to look for the amendment and vote. Early voting is already underway. Your vote is your voice. The League of Women Voters welcomes new members, both women and men, at lwvwpa.org. Thank you and good night.